We got the vibe, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told, where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know, it's the Jeff Foxx Show. Behind the Mic Podcast.
Yo, it's the Jeff Foxx Show, Behind the Mic Podcast, with your boy Elijah Connor. How you doing, Mr. Foxx?
All right, sounding good, man. We got Elijah Connor here. It's nice to talk to you, man.
Man, listen, you the guy, man. Absolutely.
I feel like I know you, man. I watched that television show, The Battle for Stardom. You know,
man, listen, in real time, right? It was real.
It was real time.
Absolutely.
Let's bring the people back to that moment, because a lot of folks hearing you right now, they remember that moment. They remember that stare down you and P. Diddy. What was that moment like? And first, tell the folks what the show was about for folks that may not exactly know what we're talking about.
Well, absolutely, man. You know, it was definitely a great show, big show on Fox called The Battle for Stardom, man. And, you know, I was just a church kid who could sing, man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Coming from out of Detroit, and I got the call, and I said, I don't know, man. But I said, you know what, I'm going to go in here and give them my all. And I thought I did a good job, and the rest of the world evidently did. But, you know, it was some things that happened behind the scenes, man. But the crazy thing is, you know, I'm going to stand 10 toes down, you know. I'm a brother from Detroit. They say if you can make it in Detroit, Jeff, you can make it anywhere.
That's right. That's what I hear.
But it's also something in the water here in Detroit.
No doubt.
It's two things on every corner. It's a church and it's a liquor store.
That's right.
And somebody can sing at every church.
That's right.
You know. So, you know, I went on there and sung, and, man, you know, and I didn't win the show, but I won the show.
That's
because
right.
I got people like yourself playing my record, man.
That's right.
All across the country, man. I really appreciate your support, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that, man. Absolutely.
And we're going to get into all of that, you know, and your family background, like you said.
Absolutely.
But that stare down was between you and Diddy.
Yeah, man.
That thing has turned into a meme and everything throughout the years. Man. How has that changed your life?
It definitely catapulted me to a different tier, kind of overnight, man. You know, to the point of, especially now with everything that's going on with him, people like, you saw something before the world did, you know, and I said, well, you know, I just believe in, you got to go with that gut, man. And one thing I'm not going to do is I'm just going to always just stand 10 toes down, man, and give my all.
And keep it moving, and keep it moving.
And keep it moving, man.
Right.
You know?
That's all right, man. Now, you're from Detroit. I'm a Midwest boy myself from Cleveland. So I used to go through Detroit all the time, you know. I used to listen to all those great stations like WJLB.
WJLB.
You know, WDRQ.
Yes, sir. 105.9. Yes, sir.
All those great DJs like the Electrifying Mojo.
Yeah. Absolutely. Frankie Darcell, everybody.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So that's your background. We understand that being from Detroit, like you say, there's a church, there's a liquor store. You're from the church. You're a PK.
I am. I'm a preacher's kid, man. Now, they say we're the worst ones.
That's what I hear. Now, you got to stand up for the PKs. What's the truth about the PKs, Elijah Khan?
I plead the fifth. I won't say we're the worst ones, but, you know, let's just say we're balanced. Let's just put it like this.
That's right.
It taught me something on how to move in the world, and not only in the world, but in the music industry.
Right.
Because they say if you can deal with church people, you can deal with anybody.
Right. Now, being a PK, what was your life like? How many days a week did you have to be in church? And how did that sit with you as a young boy growing up when you wanted to be out there playing or watching the game, but you had to be in service, 4 o'clock services after you already did the 10 o'clock service? You just there and you had required rehearsals. What's that life like?
Oh, man. And I grew up Church of God in Christ. So,
okay.
You know, you can't join it. You got to be born in it. I was born in the church, man. I mean, I'm talking about doing homework in the back pew, and then coming and jumping on the drums and then the organ and then singing. And then, you know, one thing I appreciate about the church, though, which I think is kind of lacking in a lot of today's music, is the church, it teaches you how to stand flat-foot and sing, Jeff. Without all the thrills, without all the gimmicks. Can you stand there with a mic and move the church mother? Can you move the people? It teaches you how to read the audience and what to do.
Right.
And if you can do that, you can make it. And I think that's what is lacking in today's, not only music, but R&B music. Look at the greats. They came out the church.
Exactly.
Aretha. And
that's Detroit.
Luther.
That's your background.
Absolutely.
This is your foundation. This is your foundation. And when you talk about the Elijah Connor family, you got some connections there. When I found out that you were Prince's cousin and also related to Martha Reeves.
Absolutely. That's my godmother.
Threaded together.
And I know I'll never be as great as them. They're doing their own thing, but my whole thing is just to continue the legacy and my own greatness. You know what I mean? Prince, to have just that bloodline, that's literally music royalty. And God rest his soul. But just really continuing the legacy. I'm the last musician
yes,
in
you are.
the family. Just continuing the legacy and doing everything with excellence.
What words of encouragement did Prince give you?
The crazy thing is, we went to a concert of his, and it was his piano and mic tour. I don't know if you remember.
I remember
one of the last tours.
Yeah.
He was always ahead of his time, Jeff.
Always.
And what he said is, own. He preached ownership.
Mm-hmm.
He preached ownership as well as independence.
Way before anybody really was talking about that.
Way before anybody was talking about it. The industry is all on that now. But he was before his time. I'm talking about when he was on the Tavis Smiley show years ago. Absolutely. But one of the last words he gave me was, do everything in excellence. Whether you're singing in front of 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people, or 10,000 people.
That's right.
Give them your all. Sing like it's a stadium. If it's just 10 people there.
Let's go.
And that's encouraging, man. And because, a lot of times artists will, or just people period, they'll be like, oh, it's only 10 people out there.
Exactly.
Go out there and give them a show, man. Give them a show.
That's sort of your mantra. You live by that.
Absolutely. I live by that. Excellence or nothing at all, Jeff.
Elijah, one thing you want people to feel the moment they hear your music.
I want them to feel, especially with this record, it's given that nostalgia. I want them to feel, whether it's love or whether it's bringing back that love that was once there. I just want you to feel good. It's kind of like walking past someone and it's a perfume or a cologne and it brings back memories.
Yep.
Like, oh, wait a minute. I got this thing named Issey Miyake. I wore that in high school.
Yeah.
And every time I smell it, I'll be like,
take you right back,
takes me
don't
back
it?
to high school.
Yeah.
So I just want them to feel whatever it is, man. But I just want them to be encouraged. And that's what I want to do with my music, to encourage somebody out there.
You're talking about your latest single.
Yeah.
Tell the folks the name of it.
More Than a Friend.
More Than a Friend. I love it. I played it a few weeks ago on New Music Thursday, and it just lit the phone lines up.
Oh, wow. Wow, man.
I just love the hook. The hook sound like church.
Listen, that's exactly the vision that I went for. I said, let's take them church, man.
Yeah.
I said, this world right now, you got to give them church without them knowing they get in church. By the time they realize it. So I went in and layered those background vocals, man. I spent about a week on the backgrounds itself.
Wow.
Because I'm a perfectionist and I wanted to layer.
Are you?
Yeah, oh man, I'm a perfectionist, sometimes to a fault.
Right. Is it hard when you're in the studio and it's got to be right and you're going to do it take after take? When do you know it's right? And then when you're a perfectionist, that's kind of like having perfect pitch. You got perfect pitch in a world that is out of tune.
Come on. Absolutely. Preach, Jeff.
Yeah, everybody's out of tune, but you hear the real note and it just drives you crazy. Being a perfectionist is pretty much the same thing, right?
Absolutely. And one thing I've learned is that as an artist and just as a creative, you have to learn how to trust your own ear and your own voice. And when you put your mind to something, keep it at that. Because had I listened to the engineer, he kept saying, oh, no, you shouldn't stack your backgrounds that much. I said, well, I wanted to kind of sound like a choir. No, that's dated. Just stack it one time. And I said, nah. I went in and I wanted it to feel like luxury R&B.
Yeah.
Where it feels expensive.
Yeah.
It feels like, you're sitting in front of the fireplace and you got your brandy or whatever. I wanted it to feel expensive.
It sounds that way.
Hear that record.
It sounds that way.
So I went in, with intention and just trusted my own ear, man, and just to see how it is connecting with people and to the listener. I'm just forever grateful, man.
So what's the response when you get out in the world? What are folks saying about the record?
Oh, man, they like, when is the album coming? When is the album coming? And I'm like, it's coming. It's coming. But people are really just loving it. I heard, I was reading a comment the other day, and my team had called me. They said a young lady left a comment on YouTube on the lyric video. She said she thought it was an old 90s record, how it started off. So she turned it up, and she said by the time she Shazammed it, she said, I had to come and find this record. She said,
gotta get it. Gotta get it. That's right.
You know, so I went for that early 2000s sound because that was one of the perfect, I felt like records these days don't tell a story. They don't tell a story, you know, and that's one thing I loved about the early 2000s R&B. So it was very intentional, Jeff, definitely.
So what is the toughest part about your journey that people, they don't necessarily see, but you know the truth?
Man. One of the toughest things, Jeff, I would have to say is you have to literally tell yourself, like, keep going.
Okay.
At least for me, you know, because there's some times where I just be like, you know what, do I want to keep doing this? But it's when I get those DMs and when I get those messages from people like, hey, man, your record, I love it. I'm literally going through this right now. And it's like, yo, okay, this is encouraging me. So a lot of times the listener thinks that the artist is encouraging them when really they're encouraging us.
Yeah.
Without you all, there's no me.
Exactly. So when you hit those moments and you hear the response and the folks collaborating back with your experience and what you're giving them, they're giving you also some energy and some encouragement to keep going, even though sometimes you hit those dark days when you say, I don't want to do this no more. The folks that are receiving your art, they're letting you know, oh, no, it's helping me. And that helps you.
Absolutely. That's what keeps me going. The listener, the audience, the fans, that's what keeps me going. So I really appreciate all the love. It does not go unnoticed.
What is that one lesson that love has taught you that made its way into your music?
Oh, man. Well, I'm still learning lessons. But one thing that love has taught me is we always think we have tomorrow. We always think we have the next day. Tell someone how you feel now. Mm-hmm. I don't care whether it's my mom, I don't care whether it's my dad or my girlfriend. You let them know, listen, if you're upset, you know, I just want to get it right. We'll finish arguing tomorrow, but I don't want to go to bed.
Right.
With this.
Right.
This record really came from a place of that. Sometimes I'll take what friends go through and write a record about it, you know, and I had a buddy of mine, his fiance, they were arguing about something dumb.
Right.
Something that's, you know, it didn't even make sense. And when she was on her way to work, she got swiped by a semi-truck.
Oh, my God.
And literally passed.
Oh, my God.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really just about, you know, just taking advantage of that moment.
Yeah.
Swallowing your pride. You know what? I'm sorry. If that's going to save the relationship, just say it, man. It takes nothing from you, you know? So we as men and just we as humans have to know, like, listen, my fault, you know? If that'll save the relationship.
Why is something that's just as simple as that, why is it so hard for folks to do?
Ah, man, because, you know, ego.
Yeah.
And then social media doesn't help.
No.
You know, everyone has this thing now about, I don't need nobody, you know, independent. I don't need nobody. I'm good.
You sound like we writing music right now. These are topics that you can write about right now.
I'm telling you, Jeff.
I'm telling you, man.
You know, social media can be a blessing and a curse.
Sure.
You know, you have to have that balance because it starts when you post something and it's like, I don't need nobody and I'm good. And then that trickles down. I think it's very important as artists. We know that we're also leaders. What we post, what we say.
That's right. You have a responsibility.
It goes out. We have a responsibility.
Yep.
I saw an artist the other day who said, you know, no, we don't have any responsibility. That's up to the parents. No, we have responsibility because we're the ones who are able to impact culture as well as kind of control it. What we put out there matters.
It does.
You know, what we put on the radio matters.
Mm-hmm. The music has always mattered.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jeff.
So what are you chasing? Are you chasing the hit? Are you chasing the respect? Or are you chasing the legacy?
I'm chasing all three.
All right.
In full transparency. Oh, yeah. I definitely want to hit.
Right.
You know, I definitely want to be respected.
Right.
By not only my peers, but also in the industry.
Right.
But I also have a legacy to uphold.
What's first?
Hit.
Go ahead, Elijah. I got to have a hit first.
Yes, sir. I need the hit. You ain't got the hit.
Right. The hit moves it all.
Is it gonna matter? You got to make sure the legacy matters.
Right.
You got to have the hit
to make the legacy matter.
Come on. Absolutely.
Mr. Detroit laying it down, being for real. I love it.
Absolutely. And respect would be last.
Yeah.
So hit, legacy, respect.
Let's talk about your philanthropic efforts. You're a brand ambassador for St. Jude's.
Absolutely.
Love Music, Stop Cancer. Can you tell why this is so close to you?
Oh, well, that's definitely so close to me because my brother, he is a survivor of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He got diagnosed when he was 15 years old.
Okay.
He was a star basketball player, and he was running up the court to make a shot, and he just fell out.
Wow.
So, it was chest pain, thought it was indigestion.
Yeah.
They rushed him to the hospital. The doctor came in and said, "Hey, man, you have NHL."
Oh, my.
And, we as black brothers, he looked at me, he said,
What is that?
"What, National Hockey League?"
Yeah, exactly.
And they said to him, "No, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma."
Oh, my.
So they told him, it's stage 4.
Oh, no.
It was growing. You could see it with the naked eye. That's how quick it was growing.
Oh, my.
And they called in and they said, "Hey, they do this thing, make a wish thing." He said, "I want to meet Michael Jordan." And he took him to Michael Jordan's restaurant. He met him.
Wow.
But when you flip that thing, there's a song that says, "But I had a praying grandmother."
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And here we are.
Here we are.
15 years later.
That's right.
And he is in remission, doesn't have a trace of it.
That's wonderful.
And, I said to myself, I wanted to make sure that I was partnering.
Right.
So that's really dear to my heart, dear to me, is that if I can touch someone while still upholding what I'm trying to do and music, that's why I'm a brand ambassador for St. Jude's.
This is wonderful how you make everything count. Yeah, your legacy is already cemented, bro.
Man, listen.
Regardless of the hit, you have made a difference.
I appreciate you, man. And then we do a thing through the Counter Foundation.
Nice.
Where we do a thing every year in Detroit called Coats for Kids, where we give out coats to kids going to school, about 500 coats. And maybe we'll do something in Atlanta this year.
Nice.
Since I'm now in Atlanta. Like I said, it goes back to also when you're an artist or creative, you have a responsibility, to try to change the world and impact as much as you can.
Your art has always been great. Your foundation has given you everything you need to forge ahead because you're making a difference out here, and that's real important. How do folks get in contact with you so they continue to follow your journey?
Well, absolutely. Well, my socials are the same. Elijah is like Elijah in the Bible, Elijah. I'm the one that went up in the chariot, not Elisha. So Elijah. And then Connor, Connor. So please follow me on all socials. Keep in touch with me, Instagram. I'm everywhere. Even drop me a message or DM. I'm not one of those artists who don't respond. I'll write you back and maybe even follow. All right?
I appreciate you, man. Love the record. More than a friend.
Absolutely.
All the best. My door is open.
I really appreciate you, Jeff. I don't know where you are in the world. You're that guy. Are you in New York right now or where? But next time I'm where you are.
We're based in New York, but the Jeff Foxx Show syndicated throughout the country. And the Jeff Foxx Show Behind the Mic podcast is also global. So, we're going to be talking about you, buddy.
Man, I appreciate you, Jeff, man. You're the guy, man. And I really appreciate the love. And thank you for what you do, not only for artists like myself, but just for this industry. You are a staple. You are a legend. And you matter. And we thank you. Thanks, Jeff.
Elijah, I appreciate it. It's Elijah Connor today.
Absolutely.
On the Jeff Foxx Show Behind the Mic podcast. And thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Jeff Foxx Show Behind the Mic podcast. A conversation with Elijah Connor. And remember, you can also check out the nationally syndicated Jeff Foxx radio show, bringing you the best in music, culture, and conversation every day. You can stream us online. Just look for the Jeff Foxx Show affiliate and pick your station. I'm also really happy to let you guys know my new album is now available. It's called Variations. Check this out. Hey, this is Jeff Foxx. Late night, lights low, just you and the music. That's the vibe of my new album, Variations. It's smooth, mellow. It's made to move your soul. Featuring Thoughts, Pretty Flowers. It's really nice. Get your copy right now. just go to bandcamp.com or hit me on my Facebook page, Jeff Foxx Show, for more information. And get variations.
We got the vibe, we got the flow. Jeff Foxx, taking you behind the mic, keeping you in the know. Where the real stories are told, where the truth and the soul unfold. Now you know it's the Jeff Foxx Show. Behind the mic.